Podcasting from the Chicagoland area, this is Game On with Jackson Stuart, where we discuss men's lifestyle, focusing on sex, fitness, relationships, business, and more. We'll be interviewing the best of the best, the hot shots, and the rising stars in the worlds of modeling, fitness, cooking, and more. Influencers who are discussing keeping it sexy while at the top of their game. I'm your host, Jackson Stuart. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the game. What if you could be a better player for the cost of one more cup of coffee a month? Get access to a growing library of lit erotica, behind-the-scenes action, and player's guides with tips on drinking, cooking, fitness, dating, sex, and life after dark. Low tier rate while offer lasts. Patreon.com, Game On with Jack. Keep it sexy and game on.
For a better thing, wanna replace me. I'm in a place that I've never been. It's worse than lonely. Can someone tell me they see good in me? There's good in me. Cause I got doubts, I got doubts, I got doubts, yeah. Sometimes I wanna risk it all. Since you left me, struggle, baby, I see pain. Cause I got nothing.
Good people, sexy people, welcome to another episode of Game On with Jackson Stuart. As always, I appreciate you guys taking the time to tune in and listen to great guests and great interviews and what I think is some damn good conversation. Some invitations. Want to make sure you guys are stopping by youtube.com/@Game On with Jackson Stuart. I'm sorry, not at. No, it is at Game On with Jack. I'm still getting used to it, but that's the handle. Check me out on YouTube. Patreon.com/Game On with Jack. Subscribe to new Game On guides. The blog is up and running again at gameonwithjack.wordpress.com. Twitter, you know the handle, Game On with Jack one more time. And hopefully by this time next week, I'll be relaunching the gameonwithjack.shop. Gonna put in some links for products that I feel help every man be the best player he can be and can totally help him level up his game. That having been said, let's talk about tonight's topic. I want to jump right into it. The Angry Male, Part 1, and why men are angry. And so the reason I wanted to do this show was because it seems like there is this growing wave of anger amongst men out there. You know, you see it a lot in social media. It seems like it's always on the news where guys are pissed off and angry or, you know, it might be amongst your friends. It might be you. You might be the angry male. But it's just like there's just this rage, right, of just men that are pissed off about this, pissed off about that. And part of this, I call it a movement, it seems like. Part of this is where guys are really starting to question who they are as men or what they are like as men, and they want to like reinvent themselves. But they want to reinvent themselves as something like angrier, just like fucking livid. And that bothers me. And that's why I want to do this show. And I'm not, you know, some people might throw out, you know, that I think it's Andrew Tate or Jordan Peterson, these guys that seem to be kind of at the forefront of this. And I'm not dragging any names into this thing. But there is this, to me, it's a real, palpable event. There's really this like, or I'll throw another word, like zeitgeist, this feeling of the moment where a man needs to be angry to succeed. A man needs to be pissed off to level up. And I know I talk about alpha males and beta males. We'll go into that in a little bit also, but I just really want to take time to take a beat and dissect this movement. So, why are men angry? Well, I think the anger has always been there. And I say this a lot, especially with friends of mine who are like, Jack, but the world is getting worse. And I'm like, humanity has always been what it is. We've always had a lot of bad. We've always had a lot of good. It's just that nowadays we have instantaneous communication, right? So if something horrible is going on, you don't have to hear about it a month later when, the town crier or the local news rides into town and tells the village. When things are bad, boom, it's there on your phone. Boom, it's there on your cable news. Boom, it's there in your email. So it does seem like there's just so much more anger. The anger's always been there. We've been throwing people to lions. We've been, burning villages to the ground. We've been slaughtering people left and right. That's been going on forever. Now, I say that not to lessen any of those events. I don't say this to lessen the impact of tragedy. Tragedy is tragic. That's why it's called tragedy. As a species, as a giant global family and network of humanity, we all need to feel the importance of tragic moments, and we need to wrap our arms around each other and lift each other up and get through these moments. I point out that this has always been happening because I want to defang the fear that we are helpless. I want to defang the idea that, oh no, it's just we're running 80 miles an hour towards the end that we cannot avoid. I want to re-empower us as people, re-empower us as men in saying it has always been this way. But now we know about it faster. We know about it more. And when you know some things coming, when you know about the something that's coming, you have the ability to impact and to change it. So that's why I point out that this is the way things have always been, because I want to empower us to make a difference and to change it. So we can share our anger more quickly, whether it be, sending a text message, sending an email, sharing something we saw on TikTok or something we saw on YouTube, some guy being pissed off or something that will piss a man off. We can share it now. And in that sharing, right, is the growth of this sense of anger. And we can perpetuate this anger. And so generally, what are men angry about? Well, men are feeling passed by, passed over, ignored. Maybe it's at work. Maybe it's at home. On a bigger scale, I think men are feeling left out or forgotten by society. Men are feeling misunderstood. It used to be you could hold the door open for someone. You could give somebody your seat. And there's this fear now like, oh, they're going to say I think women are lesser, or I'm being sexist or being ignorant or being whatever. Men are feeling that they're being perceived as the villain. Like, oh, every time something bad goes wrong, they blame it on a man. Every time somebody thinks somebody's being held back, they blame it on a man. We're feeling uncertain of what to say in today's world. And this goes back to people saying, oh, I can't tell this joke or I can't say this word because somebody's going to say sexist or a bigot or racist or whatever. Even good men, family men, are feeling angry because they're feeling overwhelmed, swamped by what they're trying to achieve and what they're trying to do with their life. Men are feeling a victim mentality right now. They're feeling a type of woe is me, a type of, they can't get ahead. Still, everything's out to get them. And just in general, men are feeling angry about money and relationships. Okay, so those are some of the topics that I've heard, and I have felt, honestly, that have made men angry, have made me angry at times. Today's man is doing more than the man of yesterday. And I don't mean he's doing more because people are going to be like, oh, well, back in the day we walked 5 miles in the snow, or, we had to get up at 4 a.m. and work the land and then go to bed at 11. I'm not saying more like that. Today's man is doing more than the man of yesterday because technology has given us a whole new level of work and connectivity. So today's man is doing more in terms of communication. I remember days before email became what it is now. It used to be if somebody needed you, they'd call you or find you physically. But now somebody sends you an email. If you don't respond back in 5 minutes, people are like, what the hell? Or why are you not responding? You're like, I didn't check my email. I was away from my desk. I didn't have my phone with me. So communication and the invention of technology has given us another layer of responsibility. Today's man is also doing more with his family and his friends. It's not like the old days where, dads would come home and have his brandy waiting for him and was disconnected from his kids and what they were doing with school and what his wife had going on or his partner or whatever, or his friends. In the old days, you had a buddy who was going through troubles. You took him out for a beer and you gave him a cigar and that was the end of it. No, today's man is more involved. He knows what his kids are going through. He knows what his partner is going through. He knows what his mother, his brother, his father, his sisters, his brothers, his nephews, his nieces, whatever. He's involved with them. He's communicating with them. When his friends have a hard time, he just doesn't take them out and slap alcohol on it and a Band-Aid. He's talking to that guy. He's giving him advice. He's listening. So while today's man is more evolved than yesterday's man, this level of evolution is making him tired, making him irritable, and making him angry. Excuse me. The man today is also given a bigger finish line at work. You're expected to do more today because we have technology, because we're smarter, we're faster than we were 5-10 years ago. He's also bombarded with images of bigger success. Social media. And I love social media. I'm not calling it the devil, but there's a negative side to it because today's man is looking at all these millionaires and billionaires and their quotes and how they're telling him that he's not doing enough. How they're telling him that he's a snowflake. He's a punk ass. He's a pussy for crying about something. He should be out there in a 6-figure car. He should be out there with a 7-figure house. He should have a supermodel for a girlfriend. I mean, all these things he's being told is his goal, is his success. Not just having a job where he's happy, he's paying his bills, he's going on vacation. He's being told that's not enough. Even if he feels that that's all he wants, he's being told to the contrary. Today's man also struggles with body image. Yes, men have body issues also. He's being told that he's too fat, he's too tall, he's too short. He doesn't have a 6-pack. He doesn't have a 12-pack. I mean, look at your superhero movies. And I enjoy superhero movies. I'm not knocking them in the least. But just look at what your characters look like. Look at the training regimen that, the actors who play in Marvel and DC movies have to go through to get a 6-pack. Excuse me. To do that shirtless scene, to skip water for 3 days so he gets dehydrated so his skin looks tight on his muscles. I mean, and we're talking like that's just the image that guys are getting. So all of this together is wearing on today's man. And when you are worn out and doing more, you get irritable, you get angry. So we're not angrier than we were. Our anger now is just different. And we're able to share it more so that the world can see it more. Social media, we're out there, talking shit, airing our grievances, commiserating together, but we're not leveling each other up. We're not helping each other get over our hurdles. We have a bad habit of just telling each other You're valid in how you feel, and you're valid in your anger, and we're just stewing together like an infection. What types of men are angry? Is it just these alpha males? Is it these no-net guys? Is it these guys on social media telling us how we're all pieces of shit? No. All of us are angry. All of us can get angry. The men who are out of touch with their emotional needs are going to be angry quick. The men who are being judged according to, there's some double standards out there, are going to get angry about it quick. And the fact that we're talking about it online, the fact that we're communicating back and forth with text messages and email, the fact that we're jumping on social media groups that support our anger is just making it worse. Now, here's the flip here, folks. Is all of this anger justified? No. You're like, oh shit, Jack, you had me, and now you done fucked up. Do men have reasons to be angry? Yes. You're a human being. You are experiencing life. Life is not easy, and there are things that are going to happen that make you angry, 100%. But you don't have the reasons to be as angry as what you're hearing in media and online and in the news and from your buddies and your boys who sit there and back you up on all your rants and your ravings. Let's talk about, are we passed by and passed over and ignored? Not nearly as much as you think you are. And here's the challenge. When you start to feel like it's all personal, right? When you start to feel like all this shit is coming for you and the world is picking on you, or your job is picking on you, or whatever, take a step back and take the personalization out of the equation. It's not your boss. Could just be the business. Could be the economy. It's not those people or those women or that group. It is something that is happening. You are just one person being impacted. It is not out to get you. This situation didn't wake up this morning to fuck you over. And that's where I really want to challenge this victimhood I hear a lot of guys having. Oh, but what about me? Oh, like it's so hard to be a man. Oh, stop being a damn victim. Everybody has got something that makes their life hard. It ain't just you. You ain't got it harder than everybody else. It's not you up on the cross. Are you feeling misunderstood? Well, guess what? Make an effort to be understood. Slow down. Defang that anger. De-escalate the situation. Calm down and talk. And better yet than just talking, listen. Open up your damn ears. Because when we get in this victimhood as men, and here's the thing, being a man is a powerful thing. Men can do things that can be horribly destructive or magnificently, miraculously creative. But you get to choose which one you want to be. You want to be a destroyer, you want to be a creator. And when you choose that victim mentality, that victimhood, all you're going to do is be destructive. And all you're destroying is from a place of, I'm ignored and I'm hurt. And when you don't acknowledge that hurt, and when you don't seek and we're going to talk about ways to handle your anger, when you don't acknowledge your anger and you let it run amok, you will destroy shit. You will hurt people. You will hurt yourself. And it might be as simple as like, you go binge drinking, binge eating, fuck yourself up, or you're a dick at work, you're a dick to your family, your friends, or, and this is, I'm stepping outside my wheelhouse here, you go out and, you think about getting in a fight with some random guy who stepped on your shoes. Or, you think about hurting random people for some other reason. If you're having any of those feelings, first of all, please go get some help. Please go get therapy. I'm not a mental health expert, but I know they exist. Talk no one is a great idea. So you got to get out of that victim mentality. And here's another reason why victim mentality is bad, because it takes away your power, guys. You are fucking players. You guys are creators. You guys are hardcore. You are tough. You are powerful. When you just sit there and think, oh no, that group of people are stepping over me. This group of people, today I can't make this joke. Tomorrow I can't say that. When you say that, you are just whining and giving up your power. There's a great quote. that says, and I've said it on the show a bunch of times, be strong enough to be gentle. Be so fucking powerful. You can take a second to listen to this other person. You can step out of your shit, because your shit's grounded. You know what you got going on. You're confident as a motherfucker. You can put yourself in another person's shoes. You can be empathic. When you start to have empathy as just an instant tool you can grab and use, a lot of this anger goes away. Because you realize that people are not out to get you. Shit just happens, and today the shit happened to you. And now are you powerful enough to fix this? Or are you powerful enough to find somebody who can help you fix it? Perceived as the villain. Some people are going to see you as a villain. We've talked about alpha males get perceived in bad lights all the time because alpha males make shit happen. But if you're doing it right and not stepping on people to get stuff accomplished, some people are going to motherfuck you or see you as the bad guy because haters got to hate, right? But the majority of people will see you as a positive, powerful creator. You're uncertain about what to say in today's world. Well, guess what? Fucking time moves and things change. You know, oh, I used to say this in political correctness. Shut the fuck up with that mess. Look, I'm black. All right? It wasn't that long ago where blackface in comedy was acceptable. The world got a little bit more mature. We can't do that now. I appreciate that. I'm sure there were people back in the day that said, damn it, I used to be able to put on blackface and get a laugh. What's going on with the world today? Grow up. And if you're listening to the show, you're already a player. You're a player in training. You know that political correctness is just being polite and understanding of people who are different than you and not offending them just to, make your life easy or make a joke or whatever. Women get so much stuff. Why do I have to be a feminist? Here's what a feminist is to me. You think and you see and you believe that women are equal as men. Boom. Just made it easy. Okay? Why do I believe that? Because I'm strong enough to accept that. I'm strong enough to look at a woman and say, she can do everything I can do. I don't see her as less than. I don't see her as more than. I see her as an equal human being. When you can get to that point, yeah, do I still get angry about shit? Of course I do, but it does not drive me like some of these guys I hear who are like so full of hate and venom and vitriol. And it's really just because they're covering up that they got hurt. They got ignored, And guys, I'm sorry, but you don't go to OnlyFans asking a girl out. And when she ignores you, don't fucking bitch, she blah, blah, blah. Don't do that. Sex workers, they're selling you a fantasy, but they are to be respected. They're not going to be your girlfriends typically. They're not going to become your wives typically. Don't confuse a transactional paid for fantasy as an arena in which you had a chance to make it more. Because if you perceive that and you get the hard reality of this is just a fantasy, I know some guys who trip about it and start MFing everybody, start hating on women. Same thing at strip clubs, same thing at bars. So that bartender, I would tip her a lot, then I asked her for a number, and she said she's got a man, whatever, and now fucking bitch, whatever. Knock that shit off. You're better than that. So, do we have rights to be angry? Yeah, we can be angry about a lot of stuff, but not as angry as what we're being told. Here's the thing. Stop being upset because you're not as successful as what you see on social media. You define what is success to you. And when you hit that, I'm happy for you. Your success and my success and the cat next to you and whoever the hell you bump into the street, we all define it differently. Maybe my success is, 4 cars and a giant mansion and whatever. Maybe your success is 5 cars. And maybe that other person is their success is going home and seeing their kid tonight. They're all right. But we got to tell ourselves what success is. And also stop with the competition. Stop competing with Chris Evans, Sexiest Man Alive, and his 12-pack for Captain America. And look at things in totality, especially body images, right? Every time you see Captain America or Thor or Superman or any of these images, or you pick up GQ magazine or Esquire, you look on Instagram, you see these guys who look perfect. Those guys fucking suffer to be what they are. Go back and, listen to Chris Evans talk about how aggravating it is to be Captain America. Or Henry Cavill, when he talks about The Witcher, like what they have to put their bodies through for this role. And so they don't wake up looking perfect. There's tons of training and food restrictions and stuff that they go through. Why do I point that out? Because they're going through some shit. You think they wake up looking perfect and you're angry about it because you're not perfect looking. Guess what? They ain't looking perfect. And there's somebody here, and this goes back to not just empathy, but appreciation for everything in totality. Somebody is looking at you wishing they looked like you. Accept that, and that takes away some of your anger. That takes away some of your victimhood. Somebody wishes they had your shit. There's a guy who, maybe you want to lose 10 pounds and you're hating on it. There's a guy who wishes he could lose 200 pounds. But he's got a medical condition that he can't lose weight. Or maybe, you wish you could be 6'1". Well, there's somebody who wishes that they could be, 5 feet tall. So please stop comparing. Please look at things in totality. Please, guys, we gotta dump the victimhood. When you get out of that victimhood mentality, you lose a lot of the anger. When you become empowered and you are strong and powerful enough to be gentle, to be strong, you lose a lot of the anger. And here's the kick, sometimes I hear guys, talking about snowflakes and how weak guys are nowadays, but who's doing the real bitching? Who's doing the real complaining? Who's doing the real crying? It's that victim mentality. Men are angry because they're adopting too much of a victim mentality. Are there legit, is there legit anger? Yes. But to the level that we're seeing it, that we're being told we should feel it, no. And who's the we that's telling us? People that benefit from us subscribing to their YouTube, following their TikTok, buying their books, listening to their podcasts. No. We have to listen to the sources and decide if we need to keep listening to the sources. Now, I'm not telling you to cancel anybody or whatever. That's up to you to make that call. But one of my rules of thumb is people that only feed me negativity, people that only feed me anger and rage, I don't need to listen to. I don't need to watch. I don't need to hang around with. Sure, we're all going to have times when we're feeling the darkness. I get it. But if you are not getting things with a sense of totality, it's a sense of balance, right? Give me some good, give me some bad. Then that's when you really got to look at, what you're digesting, what you're consuming every day. Men today are being fed a lot of shit about how to be more dominant and more assertive. Stop being a pussy. You're too beta. Be more alpha. And some of this I've said, but I've never said you're a pussy. I have said, if you want to be a beta, be a beta. But if you want to be an alpha, you got to stop being a beta. And to me, you want to be an alpha, not because you want to, like all these women are going to come drooling over me. I'm going to suddenly be driving a, sports car and people are going to push me around. You want to be an alpha because alphas tend to live a life that's more enjoyable to them. Traits of being an alpha, and I boil it down to 3. They're protective of others. Be strong enough to be gentle. They are assertive. Nobody pushes them around. They're also, I like confident more than assertive. They're confident. Nobody pushes them around. They're protective, and they're decisive. You give me those 3 qualities in a man, I can tell you he's an alpha. So, man, be a player and get the shit you want. One of my favorite stories about, giving in to anger or just giving in to a tough situation and building an amazing situation out of it. Carson Perry Scott, Chicago-based guy, eventually created some of the largest department stores of all time. During the Chicago fire, shit burned up, and a lot of his other developers and industrialists in the area said, hey, we're going to leave. And he said, nope, I'm going to rebuild. And he did that. And he kicked ass. Was he angry? I'm sure he was kind of pissed. But shit had burned down. But he built. He took a tough situation and built something out of it. Do you have the right to be angry? Of course you do. But you don't have a right to sit there and stew in it and become a venomous, destructive man. Take the anger. Totality. Balance. Go build something. So, tips for reducing anger. Therapy. Guys, therapy is not weakness. Saying you need therapy and getting it is a sign that you're strong enough to ask for help. Have a good circle of friends. This is where women excel and we don't. Women, because they're typically more emotionally connected creatures than men are, they have friends that build them up, support them, talk them through situations. Guys, make sure your circle of your boys are like worthwhile, not just fuck nuts that are going to just laugh and goof around and full of that guy. Go back to listen to the show about that guy. Realize your fuck ups. You're going to make mistakes. You're not perfect. Acknowledge them, own them. Don't dwell on them. Stop blaming others. Stop putting your woes at the hands of other people. That group of people, those women, that boss. Knock that shit off. Stuff happens. Accept it. Work around it. Work through it. You want some shit? Go get the shit. Build the shit. Do the shit. Look to yourself for a solution. And the solution might be you need to get somebody to help you solve it. Don't look to blame everybody else. Realize your successes. It's hard to be angry when you're being grateful. You can be grateful for your own stuff, but realize your successes. Also exist in a state of gratitude. Because when you are grateful, you cannot be grateful and angry at the same time. You really can't. You might think you can, but you really can't. So you're pissed off about work, pissed off about a relationship. Look at the shit you got going for you. Well, I ain't got nothing going for you. Well, you know what? You're full of shit because you do. Unless you are a homeless, one eye in a jar somewhere, you got something to be grateful for. And I'll challenge that with go do some community service. If you feel like your life is shit, and you might be going through some tough stuff, I'm not saying you ain't, but go volunteer at a soup kitchen. When you walk out of there and you go home to a warm place and you got some food in the fridge or food in the cupboard, or you can go buy some food, it's going to change your world, man. It's going to make you a bigger, better player because you're going to see things that other people don't. And let's talk about sports. If you ever look at like Jordan, Larry Bird, these guys that could do no-look passes that just knew where to put the ball for another teammate or where to put the ball to score. It's like they saw things nobody else did. When you become a better player in your own life, whatever the game is to you, you will see things that other people don't. But you get that perspective from being in a position that most people are not. You open up your eyes, you open up your ears, you're learning. Do reality checks. You're super angry, you got that white hot burning fury in you. Do a reality check. What's pissed me off? What's really pissing me off? Is it really work or is it something going on at home? Is it really home or is it something going on at work? Am I mad at these people or am I mad at myself? Because I'm not where I want to be. Self-care / ease off yourself. If you don't know what your self-care is, fucking go find it. Self-care is important. Trust me. Self-care is not something you do on Tuesday and you're good for the next month. You don't take a shower and like, oh, I'm good for the rest of my life. No, you take a shower every day. You should, if you're not. Self-care, taking care of your body, taking care of your mind, enjoying life, enjoying your senses, partaking in nature, all this stuff. Take care of yourself, man. Ease off yourself. This goes back to, realize your fuck-ups, realize your successes. Oh, I was going to go and and post up 10 links for affiliate marketing today, and I only got up 5. Okay, you got up 5. You were too tired to finish the rest. Tomorrow's another day. Get up and finish it. You know, our anger stems from our hurt. Our hurting stems from what was done to us, what we think was done to us, what we did to ourselves, guilt, anxiety, depression, whatever. All those negative emotions can lead towards feeling hurt, and all that hurt can lead towards irritability, because we are trying to do more with less inside, and then we get angry. Fellas, stop being angry, because you're just hurting yourself. All right? I want to invite you guys to, hey, sign up at gameonwithjack.aweb.page. Get the Jackson Stuart email list and receive the free 15 Confidence Commandments now. Hit me up on YouTube, Game On With Jack, Patreon /Game On With Jack, and Twitter, Game On With Jack. You guys are awesome. Appreciate you. Keep it sexy and game on.